An entire world is ready
for you to start your career teaching the path to wellness.
Mastering the science of mindfulness.
And the art of coaching.
To help clients achieve mental, emotional, and physical betterment of life.
Through movement,
nutrition,
recovery, and regeneration.
Because impacting one person impacts a family.
Impacting a family impacts a community.
And impacting a community impacts the world.
Become an NASM certified wellness coach.
Hey everyone, welcome to our Strong Mind, Strong Body podcast. I'm your host, Angie Miller, and today we are going to talk about fitness, travel, working out in your dream destination, which is why I've got my beach hat on, because I personally am ready for a beach trip. How about you? So I have a very special guest. Her name is Suzelle Snowden, and she is the owner of Fit Bodies. And I'm going to have Suzelle come on and introduce herself, and then I'm going to tell you specifically why I chose this segment. Then we're going to talk about all of the beauty of going away, doing what you love in a dream destination. So Suzelle, come on in and introduce yourself and do tell where you're at right now.
Hi, Angie. It's so great to see you. Wish you were here with me. I'm in beautiful La Romana, Dominican Republic at the Hilton La Romana. And it's a fantastic place. The weather has been perfect. I just had a huge yoga class this morning, and I taught fitness on the beach to about, 30 people. So we're making lives healthier and happier right here while we're all on vacation.
Oh, I love to hear that, Suzelle. So Suzelle, I've seen you at Optima a few times, and I know you have a partnership with NASM.
Yes.
And before I start to really deep dive into Fit Bodies, I kind of want to share a little bit with our listeners on why I chose this topic. So after the holidays, I don't think I'm alone, but I struggle a little bit with getting a little down, fighting off that kind of mild level depressive symptoms. Some anxiety starts to set in of, gosh, the spirit of the holidays is over. My daughters have gone back to where they live. I need something to look forward to in the new year. Generally, January and February are not the best times, although I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and don't tell anyone, but it's almost 70 degrees outside. But still, it's warm. But a lot of you live in very snowy climates. And again, your kids have gone off or life has changed. Everybody's back into a routine. And you're thinking, everybody's talking about goals and upping their fitness level. And I just need some motivation. So I thought, what better time than to bring Suzelle Snowden of Fit Bodies on to talk about something that you can do, living your passion, but doing it in a destination that is completely different from where you normally teach or where you normally train. So Suzelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about Fit Bodies and give us a little history of what it is and how you got started?
Sure. Well, it did. It started at a place just like this in Jamaica. I was on vacation. I owned a studio at the time, aerobic studio, ladies that are out there, aerobic studio and instructor training center that have, that's what we called it then, right? Step aerobics was the thing. This was 90s. And I just, I went to take a class. The instructor was teaching. The class was really not an instructor. So it kind of like disappointed me a little bit. And she was doing some things that weren't very, very safe. So I kind of walked away. But the next day I went to try again and she'd hurt herself. So I volunteered. And I taught again, and I brought my training materials and trained her the next time I went. And then I went again, and then another hotel said, well, we're hearing some amazing things. The guests love it when you're here and when your friends are here. What about us? So the business started slowly but surely in the 90s before the internet, before we could even connect that way. I was at, if many of you out there might be familiar with the City of Hope, Work Out for Hope. We're raising money for the AIDS research. And so I met people from all over the country and said, how about you want to go to Jamaica? You want to do what you love to do? So it turned into a business shortly after that. And now we're over, I don't know, I think it's over 100. You asked me, I think it's over 100 hotels. And we're all over Mexico, Central America, Caribbean, of course, and we're in Southeast Asia too. And we're spreading fast, we're growing fast, and we're excited about all that. So here I am. And like I said, what's amazing about it is you talk about education. And yes, we've been partners with NASM for many, many years because education is very important. So today, my class consisted of a lady from Switzerland, probably 7 ladies from Russia, and 1 from Toronto, and none from the US. I think there might have been a Spanish-speaking person in there. So you learn about yourself, you learn ways to adapt on the sand, teaching on the sand. I have mats, but I'm teaching on the sand. How many of you teach on the sand at home? So you learn so many amazing things about yourself and how you can adapt. And I love that part of it. Besides being able to do what you love, share what you love, inspire others from all over the world into fitness while you vacation, while you're having an amazing time with you and your family.
And that's absolutely the truth of it. You mentioned a couple of things in there, but first I want to recap. So Suzelle, you started this business in the 90s. You now have locations. You work with spas and resorts. And I know that these are all top-notch resorts that these instructors are teaching and training at. So you are in Mexico, you're in the Caribbean, and now you've moved into Asia. So it gives trainers and fitness instructors an opportunity to travel, to meet people from all over the globe and to share their passion and expertise with those individuals. And then at the same time, to walk away, not just to give away and empty your bucket on people doing what you love, but your bucket comes back full because you have this association with people from all over. And I think that there's nothing that kind of feeds my soul more personally than meeting people, hearing their stories, and feeling like I am a better, more rounded and grounded person because of other people and what they've shared with me. What do you think?
Absolutely true. And everyone, over 100 people travel a week. Everyone comes back with the same story. The people that I met, not just because we were inspiring them, but they have stories. You're right. They come from all over. They're so thrilled to know that there's an educated professional teaching the classes to them, and they're not expecting it a lot of the time, right? But what it boils down to are the people that you meet, and that you are spreading what you love to so many more people this way. Being able to do that and enjoy yourself and be relaxed. There's just nothing more to say when it comes to the value and how you can do it. Yeah. We're in Asia now, Caribbean, Jamaica, here, Dominican, Curacao. We're also in Central America, Costa Rica, places that maybe are on your bucket list, Maldives, so you want to have an opportunity to do that, but you get a chance to do what you love to do and really, really spread the word more away from the walls of your studio or your gym. And now, of course, so many of us aren't even able to do that. So one of the coolest things that I experienced was in March, because I've been traveling since July 2020. And I know we'll talk about, the availability and what's going on. But I went to a resort in March with another instructor. She was actually a Strong Nation master trainer. And the look on her face when she taught to somebody live for the first time in over a year, I could tell. It was the same feeling I had, but I could see. And so we didn't sign up for Zoom. we signed up to do this in person. So you can do it here. Yeah.
I agree. So I went, Suzelle and I were talking recently, and I went to another destination spa a few months back. I taught at a place called Rancho La Puerta, and I taught fitness classes there, and the pandemic was going on, and I hadn't been teaching much live. And it was such an experience because, again, it's people from all over the globe. You get to know all sorts of different people. You eat dinner with them, you interact with them, you hear their stories, and then you get to share what you love with them, and you come back so fulfilled, so energized, so much more. It's like, this is why I got into this, to be able to be with human beings and to be able to make an impact, and in turn they make an impact on me. I feel like anytime we travel, the world teaches us about the world, but it teaches us about us as well. I come back knowing as much about the destination that I travel to as learning as much about myself. So, Suzelle, I have a question for you. Can personal trainers do this too? Is this just for group fitness instructors, or are personal trainers able to go over there and share their expertise?
Oh, I absolutely love that question because it is a good question. Yes, as a matter of fact, I love when a personal trainer reaches out to me, and we have lots of personal trainers traveling with us because I find that the personal trainer probably has the best education. They have the best understanding of the body and the limitations and the mechanics. But a personal trainer is not going to go into a gym at one of these hotels and work one-on-one with somebody. Very unlikely, unless they meet someone and it turns into that. No, what we want them to do is just to offer some small group classes. So what they do to maybe one-on-one, they'll do to 4 or 5, or maybe 10, maybe more. Back in those days when I first started, we needed music, we needed a pitch control, we needed a step, we needed a mat, we needed a headset. Now we don't need anything. I use coconuts for my, I have a class called Coconut Beach Camp, and I use coconuts like med balls. But you don't need music. I mean, yes, fitness instructors, we use it, but personal trainers could come out and do circuit, some boot camp style things, some HIIT style things, whatever it is that they love, they can do. So as long as they're comfortable working with more than one person, yes, please, 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 please come on board and be part of the group fitness position. Although personal trainers, there is a position for them too. But as long as you are able to do the small groups, you'll be in the category of group fitness as well. So personal trainers, group fitness, I think there's like 55, maybe more positions per week.
Okay, yeah. Amazing. So I really wanted to know that because I think that a big portion of our population is group fitness, and a big portion of our population is personal trainers. And so I think that it's important because I agree with you. I think that personal trainers have extremely sound knowledge, as do group fitness instructors and personal trainers. This is just another plug for why I think it's so important that we as trainers get accustomed to teaching small groups, because these types of opportunities open up. And the thing is, if you can teach to 1, you could teach to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So I do think that being able to do that is a great way to test your skills. And, Suzelle, something else you and I were talking about is the sometimes when people are on vacation, they are more likely to try a fitness class or a fitness experience that they may be too intimidated to do in their backyard. So I lived in Scottsdale, Arizona for a long time, and I taught at a big resort there. I would teach an 8:30 a.m. yoga class, and every week it was people from all over, never any locals. And oftentimes they were people who weren't used to going to a gym and working out because it felt intimidating. Here's their neighbor, and there's already all these different keep up with the Joneses that goes on in neighborhoods. And then often you have a neighborhood gym. But when you go away to a destination where no one knows you, you kind of get your vacation courage and you're willing to try things you've never tried before. So Suzelle, do you notice that? Do you notice that a lot of the attendees or the people who take your classes aren't necessarily people who are people who would do it on a day-to-day basis?
No, you're absolutely right. And it's one of the things that I bring up all the time, because people on vacation have, I always say they think, okay, I'm going to go and I'm not going to do anything. And then they've finished 3 books and they're looking around kind of bored. And all of a sudden, here's this girl teaching a yoga class, or this guy doing a fitness class. And like, I've never done this before. Nobody knows me. Yes, I think I'm going to give this a try. And it's awesome. I always have, and all of my teachers are going to tell you the same thing, more beginners than I have regulars. And the beginners walk in with, and timid, and walk out with a new understanding of what it was they just did, whether it was yoga or fitness, Strong Nation. And the next thing I know, they're back again, and they're back again. And then they walk away saying, I'm going to go find a gym. I'm going to go find a studio. It's amazing. But the open-minded, and yes, nobody knows them. They've got all this free time, and we're here. And we show confidence because we're educated, and they understand that the hotel has thought enough of their guests that they're bringing somebody through Fit Bodies that we screen to make sure that they are certified. Always, the certifications have to be current, and they have to have current in those certifications, and they have to be teaching those modalities. Now we know, we've got some challenges with that, but we are only looking for the highly educated, the certified, and and those that have backgrounds in what it is that they're doing. Because again, you're teaching to a group of people that don't speak your language. Today, I had one lady that was fairly advanced in yoga. Most of them, one girl had never done it before. Everybody was holding a warrior pose like they all knew what they were doing. So it is a challenge to you, but it is a great understanding to them that you know what you're doing and they trust you.
I love that. And here's the thing. First of all, I want to reintroduce you, Suzelle. So for those of you who might just be tuning in, I am talking to Suzelle Snowden, and she is the owner of Fit Bodies. We're talking about fitness travel and how you as personal trainers and group fitness instructors can travel to your dream destination and do what you love. And Suzelle, the reason why I posed that question about people often being new is because we as trainers and fitness instructors, we know what speaks to us, but what really, really drives me, what really gets me as excited is to have a person who isn't working out all the time, to have that person who's too intimidated to go to their neighborhood gym. And like you said, they see this class going along on the beach and they're like, I guess I can put my phone down or my book down for an hour, and they join the class. And I know then that as an instructor and a trainer, I ignited a spark for fitness. And then I did that to somebody who lives in a completely different destination. So it's like a domino effect. Our impact goes even deeper and further throughout the globe. So that's one of the beauties of fitness travel. And I really wanted to bring that up. So Suzelle, I have another question for you. Start to give us some details. So I did fitness travel in Jamaica. I did it at Swept Away Resort. And I'm going to put a plug in here because I think you still do this. I brought my husband. And so I got to bring my husband and he got to stay and eat for free. And the only thing he had to pay for was his airfare. And it's that same thing. If you go to, when I went to Rancho La Porta, I could bring a guest. So tell us some details. Do you still allow us to bring our friend, our spouse?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It is a teaching vacation. So it is, you don't want to go on vacation without them. Well, maybe you do, but anyway, most cases. So all of the resorts that we work with, you bring along one adult companion for free. So they don't pay anything at all. You'll pay your own airfare to get there, but they are part of the program. At the family resorts, you can bring along your adult companion too, but you can also bring two children. In many cases, the age limit is under 13, but we do have a few hotels that will offer that will consider children a little bit older. About 4 or 5 hotels. Our Club Meds that we work with, they say 15 and under. Some of the other ones are a little bit over the 13. That doesn't mean you have to leave the older kids at home. We own a travel agency. So I put that in place probably 12 years ago because we were seeing so many people needing extra rooms, extra nights, bring other family members along. And so we help you with that too. So if you have a child that's over 13 and there's just 4 of you in a room, there's a nightly fee you'll pay, and we'll set that up for you. And if you have too many of them, we'll help you get a couple more rooms on top of what you already had.
So what haven't you thought of? You've got the travel agent.
Yes.
So now they can bring 2 kids. They can bring their honey with them.
Yes, and that's all included.
If there's more kids, all the power to them. And you will help them with a travel agency, help them get set up. So, or people like you and I both talked about how sometimes we just like to be able to sneak off by ourselves. So personally, it goes both ways for me. Why I brought my husband to Swept Away. I didn't bring him when I went to the Rancho La Porta, but sometimes he goes, sometimes he doesn't. So give us some details. How do instructors and trainers, where do they start in getting in contact with you, and what are some things they need to know?
All right, simple. We have a website and it's fitnessprotravel.com. And on that website, you will see a place to register or sign up. If you're already a member, you have a sign-in place, a login. You're going to create your own login, your personal login, and you're going to build your profile. This profile is important because it's what we use to screen you to know what you are qualified to do and activate you based on that. So we need a bio. I want you to tell me about your dogs in that bio if you want to, but you can tell me anything you want in the bio. It's important. Just maybe your motto, maybe just things that you think. about your family. And then the professional experience is very important. I need to know how long you've been teaching, what you teach, where you teach, how, and everything that you can tell me. And then there's a place for your certifications, and you list them all. And then there's a place to upload them. So we need copies of current certifications to match what you say you're teaching. All of, like, for instance, group fitness is going to have maybe 20 or 25 check marks for formats, because we want to know the style of classes that you teach. We want to know if you're 200 hour, 400 hour, or 500 hour, whatever it is. So all those things you fill out, you upload your copies of your certifications and keep them current, and you upload a current photo. Now you're active. We double check you. Okay. We make sure that you have everything that you need, and then you receive a notice about it. You'll be able to log into that site, and there's the fun begins, because you can already, at that point, book your trip. We have the weeks in the hotel. We have all about the hotels on the website. We do Sunday to Sunday travel for almost all of our hotels, Saturday travel for Club Meds. That means you're going to arrive and depart on Sunday, and you're going to teach on non-travel days. So when you go searching for what's available, you'll see Sunday dates in a session. And the same thing with Club Med, Saturday dates in a session. Those dates you see, everyone can see. It's free to sign up. It's free to sign up, so you don't pay anything to become a basic member, and a basic member can see everything. You can read all about the hotels, read all about the teaching experiences, see pictures, see reviews, all those things. Then you say, hey, oh my gosh, I got the January 9th through the 16th is open. It's cold here. There's a snowstorm coming. What's available? You can search by country. You can search by position. You can search by a region. You can just search by anything that week. Okay. And then what's available to you is something you'll be able to choose. So there's a fee. That's what you're looking for. There's a fee. We call it our admin fee. And Angie, we're starting our 30th year, by the way.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And so I called these things what I called them 30 years ago. There wasn't even internet. So we call it the admin fee. It's a service fee. So that's what we charge. We don't, the hotel doesn't charge you. The hotel gives me a room to give to you when you confirm that you qualify for that position. So we're the ones that screen them. We're the ones that tell them this person's great. They don't look at anything. They rely on me. And so you're going to pay a fee between $500 and $550. That's for the whole week. That includes your one adult companion and your children. And that you pay to reserve your week. Once you're confirmed, which is shortly after, when we double check everything's in place, you can book your flights to arrive Sunday or Saturday if you're Club Med, and you'll be all set. Then you start receiving more information from us. So we do everything but drive you to the airport, pack your bags, drive you to the airport. And if you're close by, I would even offer that. But everything else we take care of. And then we hand you over to the guys here at the hotel, the entertainment team or the spa team, and they take it from there. But we're always your contact, and we're always one phone call or one email away.
All right. Well, so again, I'm talking to Suzelle Snowden with Fit Bodies Travel, and we are talking about traveling and teaching and training in your dream destination. And I thought that January was the perfect time to kick off the year and think about, where can I go where I can dip my toes in the sand, soak up some sun, and get some beach music, which Suzelle, I hear that in your background because Suzelle is currently traveling. And so you'll see that she's got travelers walking by. She is living the dream right now, doing what she loves. She just taught a yoga class this morning to all these people on the beach and using coconuts as med balls. Oh my gosh, I'm sold already. So Suzelle, I have to tell you this, just a side note, my daughters, it's been a forever sell since my daughters were basically able to walk, that I think they should teach group fitness classes. And so they were home at Christmas griping about how they don't have the money for a vacation because they're new to their careers. And I was like, well, it's just another reason why you should become a personal trainer or teach group fitness classes, even if it's just a side hustle, because you can travel to dream destinations. So I don't know if I sold them, but so Suzelle, let's kind of recap here. So you work with trainers and instructors You do have an admin fee, but they get to stay at these beautiful, beautiful, brilliant resorts for free. They get to bring a spouse, up to 2 kids. How many classes a day do instructors or trainers teach? I mean, are you asking them to go in there and you're cracking the whip and they're going in there teaching 10 a day? Or what are your expectations?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. No. Because first off, we and the hotels want everyone to have a vacation. That's what it's all about. 1 or 2, very seldom more than 2, sometimes just 1. Some of the hotels might want a couple small, like half-hour classes or something that would add up to 3, but you're not going to see more than 2 most of the time. You have so much time to enjoy yourself and do all the things. So once your class is over, bring on the pina colada, go for an excursion, hang out on a raft all day, or go to the gym, whatever it is that you love to do, you can do it. And you're going to meet all these people. So you might be hanging out with these people that you met in your yoga class too, who knows? But yes, it's actually most usually a lot less than what people do at home. We work with the yoga teachers, we work with fitness instructors and personal trainers, yes. And actually we also do some work with Zumba instructors. I consider them fitness. And we also do work with tennis pros. So if anybody out there knows a tennis pro, pickleball, I don't know if you're playing it, but it's apparently a big thing. I just added 3 new pickleball positions, and also musicians and DJs. So just because Angie, a hotel says to me, Suzelle, do you have any DJs? And I'm like, absolutely, I can get you some DJs. I'm not saying no. It's such a great thing, and I want everybody to be able to experience it. So
yeah. Well, honestly, fitness travel for me, I travel to go and present. And Suzelle, you and I talked about this. I travel to present, and where I get paid for my presentations. But I have to tell you, sometimes I joke and I say, well, I want to go where I'm going to get paid. But here's the deal. When I go where I'm going to get paid, I'm on the whole time. So it might be a dream destination, but I've got to bring my laptop, my PowerPoints. I've got to be working the entire time. And when I go to fitness travel and I'm teaching small groups or large groups, to me, that's my happy place. I don't have to bring my laptop and present PowerPoints and develop these big presentations. And so I love that. I love that it's just a pure, joyful experience. I love that I get to meet people from all over the globe who teach me something about myself and the world. And I think it's wonderful. And so, Suzelle, I'm not making any money by having Suzelle on here, but I really wanted her to talk about her thing because I know she's been doing it for a long time. She's an expert at what she does. And I do know that people have a wonderful time. And you know what, Suzelle, you're going to get me on one of those trips soon.
Hope so. We talked about that. But it's the truth, and I say this all the time. You have to go to know. So it sounds really cool, and you're thinking, honestly, the accommodations, these are luxury. These are high end. When I say the admin fees $500 or $550, that may be what you pay one night. Maybe. Right. These are very high end. All of your food, all of your drinks, all of your land sports and water sports that aren't motorized are typically included. A full 24-hour room service, 24-hour concierge service. There's nothing that you can't. As a matter of fact, you sit in your chair and there's a margarita next to you, and the next thing you know, there's another one. The service is crazy. But what I'm trying to say is the value and what you get, it's awesome. But people come back and they talk about the people that they met and the people they inspired. So they went for the beach and they went for the amazing accommodations, and they went for the food. The restaurants are like dining experiences. They're not like hotel dining. They're like restaurants that you would go to outside the hotel. So this is not buffet. Right. And but what you come home with is more than you thought you would. You don't come home with that feeling of, I was just in this luxury place and my gosh, it was amazing. You come home with the people that you met and the people that you inspired, and that is what feeds our soul. So instructors all know, and we're talking the same language, and we all have the same. We don't do this for any other reason. And to be able to do it like this, today they asked me to do this fitness class. I hadn't planned it. I didn't have my music with me. I could have thrown on an Apple playlist, I guess, but I'm just waiting for the next song to come up. And then whatever it did, I just did something to it, you know, and everybody loved it. And they were so thrilled I was there. So it's yeah, it hits your heart every time. And I say this, I was out with a friend last night who I've worked with for years, probably 12 years. She's in entertainment. And we were talking about it. And I said, I see these sunsets every day, and there's not one that doesn't inspire me as much as the next one. I walk out to these beaches all the time. And yes, I'm traveling all the time. It never gets old. Never gets old. And teaching to people from all over the world.
I think so too. And you touched on two things that really stayed with me, and that is the fact that these people stay with you. I think that, again, anytime I've ever traveled, people stay with me. It's the people stories that I come home with. People stay with me. I love to learn about them and in turn learn about myself, but also just that the other word that I really hear is gratitude and appreciation. Sometimes when we teach to our regulars or we train our regulars, yes, they love us and appreciate us, but we start to be, I don't want to say taken for granted, but they know that we're there and we're always going to show up as our best self. But when we go to a destination where no one knows us, just merely showing up as your best self is just a bonus for these people because they've never met you and they're not used to you. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful way to be re-energized and to see yourself through the eyes of people who've never seen you do what you love. And all of a sudden you realize, like your talent is reignited and your energy is reignited because you see joy in these people's faces and you're like, my people at home don't appreciate me like this, right?
It's the absolute truth. I had everybody came walking up to me after my yoga class today. And the one girl who I could tell she was a yogi. She told me she was. And she's like, that was amazing. That was an awesome class. I thought it was going to be really easy. And she goes, but no, there was some things that it felt right for her. So I like to mix it up because I know I'm going to have beginners and all. But I like to throw something out there for everyone and make sure that everybody can do it. And that's what we have to do. So you're right. The people back in our home and back in our studios, I owned a studio for many, many years. I know that they loved me. I know they appreciated me, but they take you for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
And so you see that gratitude and appreciation, and again, they're not necessarily expecting you're going to be there. So I love that it's kind of a surprise too. The people do, they follow everything that you do. They follow everything, and then they see you later, and now you're like the rock star. I always tell our pros, that you're the rock star there because they appreciate what you've done for them. Yeah,
I agree. Great. I agree. When you see them at dinner, it's like that's exactly right. You're a fitness rock star. That's what you are. So.
You are. Yeah, it's the truth. And what you mentioned about, learning about yourself. And again, you find, ways to do certain things. We're teaching in the sand. We're sometimes not even using yoga mats. Sometimes you don't have your own music. So you're learning about yourself. And so we developed education where we have actually continuing education credits, 3 continuing education credits that you can earn just by going on a teaching vacation. And and with NASM, it's definitely part of it. So we offered that because we know that we are becoming better at what we do every time we go on a teaching vacation. I know I do, and I know everyone will agree with me.
Absolutely. So you also get CEUs. Fantastic. So Suzelle, thank you so much for joining me on the Strong Mind, Strong Body podcast. So if you want to reach out to Suzelle Snowden, she owns Fit Bodies, and it's a great way to get to a dream destination, do what you love, bring your honey if you want to, bring your kids if you want to, and go out there, share what you love, and you will see other people's faces light up. So thanks to all of our listeners. Thank you, Suzelle, for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.